Hello, welcome back. It is great to see you. My name's Tony,
And I'm Barry.
and we're actually in the same building, although this building hasn't been used for ages, and it is so cold in here. In fact, we are both stood over a heater each to try and keep us warm because it is so cold in here.
It's freezing. I've got me bobbly hat on.
Wow.
And it's absolutely freezing in here.
But we've just had half term, which is amazing. A whole week with no school or homeschool, and the chance to rest, lie in, if any of you actually did that. But just a bit of change. And so great to be able to be back at school. If you're there, welcome. If you're at home watching this, I hope you're doing well and managing okay, getting back into homeschooling. Barry, what was the best thing for you about half term?
The best thing for me was probably, we did a bit of baking and stuff. We just kind of took it a little bit easy. I was still working, but I tried to do a little bit. We stopped BBC TV and Ignite for the week just to have a little bit of a rest. So I did some stuff with my boys who are now 14 and 16. And so we did a bit of baking, did some bread, did some pizzas. We went out for a really nice walk one day as well in a place that I've never been to before, which was called Holly Hill. Have you heard of
Oh, yeah,
Holly
it's
Hill?
lovely there, yeah.
It's
Really
lovely.
enjoyed
There's a pond there. There's nice little walkways. We saw a deer. It was awesome. Really good.
Sounds amazing. We had a great half term. We did lots of walks. Again, I was working as well as trying to do some stuff. So with the kids, so we did some nice walks. I think probably my children would say that their highlight was we borrowed my brother-in-law's dog, Jasper, who's a Labrador, a bit sort of orange coloured, and we took him for a walk on Friday, a really long walk, and wore him out because he's quite an old dog. But it was great, and the kids were so excited about doing that because I'm really mean and said we can't have a dog. They
You can borrow our dog.
That's a really kind thing, thanks. Although I still was the one that had to pick up the poo. But no, half term was great. It was good to get out walking and to do some bits.
There's one thing we missed: pancakes.
Yes,
We had pancakes on Tuesday. Did you have pancakes?
I ate a lot of pancakes. I felt very ill on Tuesday evening when I'd eaten a lot of pancakes.
I think I had about 5.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that many, Barry. That's just crazy.
Wow. They were really thin. Oh, I did 2 varieties. I did a sourdough one as well, which wasn't as good, slightly thicker, not quite as good. But
Watch out for the next MasterChef. You'll see Barry on there. As he's...
What's your favourite pancake topping?
Oh, do you know what? I really love anything with sugar in. Chocolate spread and bananas. Really like that.
Oh, I can't eat bananas. I had maple syrup and squirty cream.
Can't eat bananas.
No, I get stomachache if I eat banana. Yeah.
Who knew? Right. Off to make Barry some banana bread. Anyway, why don't you spend a few moments and turn to the person next to you if you're in school, or if you're at home, find someone in your house with you, and why not share what your favourite thing was to do. I think we'll give you 30 seconds for that. So have a little share of what was your favourite thing you got up to over half term. Fantastic, they sounded great. I hope you've managed to share something fun with someone and that you had a great time. It's great though to be back together, and it's a new half term, which means it's a new theme or topic for our collective worships.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. We've got a new topic today, as Mr. Peterson talked to you yesterday about. It's perseverance. It's a good long word, that. Can you say that? How many? Perseverance. 4 syllables, that one. So, it's all about... Yeah, it is 4. Yeah, it is. So, so it's all about perseverance, which is kind of where you need to really try hard, and even when things are going tough and hard and you don't think you can carry on, you just keep on going. You show perseverance, you persevere. And we've got a great story about a man called Jeremiah, which Tony is going to read for us.
It's from the Lion Storyteller Bible by Bob Hartman. Great Bible. It's called Down in the Well. Down in the well, deep down in the well, deep down in the very bottom of the well, there was no water. But down in the well, deep down in the well, deep down in the very bottom of the well, there were spiders and slugs and slithering snakes. I don't like snakes. And the prophet Jeremiah. What was he doing down in the well? Deep down in the very bottom of the well. He was waiting, that's what, and wondering and wishing for someone to pull him out. God had whispered in the prophet's ear, you see, and Jeremiah had passed the message on to the king. Change your ways, do what's right, or I will let your enemies, the Babylonians, conquer your country and turn your people into slaves. The king did not want to hear this message, and he didn't want anyone else to hear it either. So he had God's messenger, Jeremiah, drop down in the well, deep down in the well, deep down in the very bottom of the well. It was dark down there, too dark for Jeremiah to see. But it wasn't too dark for God. He saw Jeremiah brush a spider off his face. He watched as the snake slithered closer. And then God did something. He whispered into the ear of one of the king's servants, a man called Ebed-Melech, and he told him to go and fetch his dirty laundry. Down in the well, deep down in the well, deep down in the very bottom of the well, dropped Ebed-Melech's laundry, and it landed right on Jeremiah's head. "Hey!" hollered the prophet. "What's this?" "My clothes," called Ebed-Melech. "Everything but what I'm wearing on my back. I've tied them together like a rope. Now wrap them around you quickly, and I will pull you out." And so, more determined than ever to pass on God's message, the prophet rose up from the well, right up from the well, right up from the very bottom of the well.
Wow, that was a good story. That's a hard name, Ebed-Melech.
Yeah.
That's a tricky name to say. But thank you, Tony. There was Jeremiah. Perseverance. There was the word there for Jeremiah. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about perseverance, and Tony's going to join in as well. But have you ever had to do something that was really hard, that you really found tough? You might have even thought about giving up. Maybe you did give up. Maybe you were asked to tidy your bedroom. Maybe it was in such a mess. You got into the bedroom, you picked a few things up and put them there, and maybe shifted a few bits around and changed a few other bits and tidied away a few bits. And then you looked round and it was still a mess. And you thought, do you know what? I just can't be bothered. I wonder if you've ever felt like that on anything you've done. How about turn to the person next to you, and we'll give you 30 seconds to have a think about a task maybe that you've had to do that you either gave up on or you persevered and you carried on and you finished. Have you had a thought? I wonder what things you thought of. Tony, have you ever had to persevere and finish something, or maybe didn't finish it?
I think probably the most amount of perseverance I've had to show recently was in that final week before half term, having to keep on going, trying to encourage my wonderful children to do their homeschool stuff and to carry on balancing work as well. That felt like a real kind of persevering, and actually we stopped early on Friday. We stopped a bit early on the Friday and started the holidays a bit earlier because we'd just got as far as we could, and then we managed to celebrate and do something fun. But something else that I've had to really persevere with is I had to learn how to drive a caravan or tow a caravan. And it was great. I've towed a caravan before, so I thought it'd be fine. I had to do a test Didn't realise it was like a proper driving test. And I had to do this test in order to tow our caravan. The thing was, I'd already bought the caravan and I'd already booked the holiday, but I hadn't passed the test. So I managed to book a test and I failed it the first time. What did I do the wrong first time? Like, I went a bit too fast. That was the first one. Went a little bit too fast, just over a hill. I hadn't quite realised the speed limit had changed. The second time I booked a test, so this is going to be perfect, it's going to be fine. Had to reverse a trailer around a little zigzag, and I didn't quite manage that. It kind of went over the line. And that was right at the very beginning of the test, and I still had to go out and drive and do the big main driving test. But I failed it a second time. And I could have given up. I could have just made my father-in-law drive our caravan everywhere whenever we wanted to go somewhere, but that probably wasn't going to work. So I had to do it a third time, and I did pass on the third time, just.
Wow.
I was very pleased, but it took a lot of time and money to be able to pass.
I was thinking about something about perseverance for me, and I think there's probably plenty of things that I've started and not finished. I mean, you just have to ask my wife and she would say a lot of decorating stuff. But I was thinking of something when I was much younger, when I was about your age. I saw someone on telly juggling and I thought that was fantastic. And I thought, I want to juggle, that'd be brilliant. So I went to the shop, I think I asked my mum and dad, and for my birthday, I got 3 juggling balls. And I got those juggling balls and I held them in my hand and I threw them up in the air and they all fell on the floor because I couldn't juggle. So I had to learn. And it was the 6 weeks school holiday. So on the first day of the school holiday, I started to learn to juggle. I took one ball and I had a book as well to teach me because it's before the internet. We couldn't go on, there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't Google.
Through TV?
It was a long, long time ago. So I had a book and it said start with one ball. So I started with one ball, just throwing it up in the air.
That's good.
See? And I could do that all right. And I spent the first day just juggling the one ball up in the air. And then I started throwing it to the other hand in big sort of curves like that. And that was all right. And I did that probably for the first week. And then I got quite good at doing that. And then I got second ball. Now the second ball, I started learning to catch with both hands, just like that. And then you start just doing that, crossing over. And this, I have to say, doing this took a couple of weeks. This wasn't as easy doing this. But then I turned the page in the book and it talked about taking the third ball. And the third ball was going to be much harder because I had 2 balls in one hand, one in the other hand, and I had to try and throw them together. And to be honest, for about 4 or 5 days, every time I threw the balls, I was dropping them because they were hitting each other and it was a real pain. But I kept on going. I kept on persevering. Every time they fell, I picked them up, tried again. After a couple of hours, I might just stop, go away, have a biscuit, have a drink, just have a bit of a rest, get away from it. But I'd come back again and keep on going. And before the end of the school summer holidays, I cracked it.
Wow.
And in the end, I could juggle 3 balls. And that was my story of perseverance. Keep on going, never giving up, and soon, one day, you will crack it. And that's the same for you guys with things you're doing, maybe things you're coming up against, problems you're having, maybe at school or at home, tasks you've got to do, just to keep on going. And one day you will crack it. And Jeremiah, in the story, he'd been given a task to do. God had told him to go out and spread the good news about God, to tell these people that they were doing things wrong and they had to change their ways. So Jeremiah went out there, he kept on giving the message, but people didn't really want to hear it. They were just going away. No, we don't want to hear that. We want to carry on doing what we're doing. The king didn't really want to hear the message either. But Jeremiah kept on going. In fact, people started to get so annoyed, they took him and they threw him down a well. And once he'd hit the bottom of the well and he was there with no chance of escape, he was looking up at the light up there and he was just surrounded by mud and spiders and snakes. Tony doesn't like snakes.
I really don't like snakes.
He must have felt really unhappy. He must have thought about giving up. I've tried everything God said, but look, what's the point? I'm stuck in a well in the mud with the spiders, with the snakes. I might as well just give up. But you know what? He didn't give up because God was there. God was with him. God was looking down on him, and God helped him. In his hour of need, God helped him. And he sent that guy, Ebed Melech, and he came along and he had all of those cloves and he tied all those cloves together. And God had told Ebed to go and help Jeremiah because Jeremiah needed help. And he put all these cloves down on this big long sort of rope, and Jeremiah climbed up. And once Jeremiah climbed up, Jeremiah realised that God had helped him. He had been rescued because on his own, he wouldn't have been able to get out. But God helped him, Ebed helped him, and he went out and he continued to pass on the message, continued to tell people the good news about God. He didn't give up and he kept on persevering.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Barry. A couple of questions. One, well, firstly, amazing that you can juggle. That is incredible. And are those the actual balls you got given for your birthday?
No.
I was going to say, those are actual antiques. If they're
No, these are my these are relatively new. I bought these a little while ago from a juggling shop because my original juggling balls, I think I lost. They probably got old and fell apart. So yeah, these are new ones. Unfortunately, I don't have the originals.
Well, there we go. Fantastic. That was really great. We're going to do a song now. We're going to have a song that we had on our service on Sunday. If you're part of our church services on Sunday, you might have seen it. It's called Bigger Than Big. There's some actions that go along with it. It talks about how God made the big blue sky. He made the oceans deep and wide. He made the trees grow tall. And his love is bigger than it all. Yeah. That's not all of the words.
But strong.
Stronger than strong. Mighty.
Mighty.
And louder than this song. Is that one?
Yeah, louder than this song. Yeah.
So we're going to join in with that. If you're at school, feel free to join in with the actions. You'll see Barry leading you in those actions along with a few other faces you might recognise. Ruth, my wife, Adrian, and I think Sky also joined us as part of the actions towards the end. So that's in there. You can join in the actions, follow those. If you're at home, join the actions, sing along as well, and we'll have a great time. Just remembering just how big and amazing and mighty and strong and wonderful God is.
God, you made a big blue sky. You made the oceans deep and wide. God, you made the trees so tall. Your love is bigger than it all. God, you're bigger than big. You're stronger than strong. You are mightier than mighty and louder than this song. And your love for me stretches farther than far. And I can't imagine just how big you are, just how big you are. God, you made a big blue sky. You made the oceans deep and wide. God, you made the trees so tall. Your love is bigger than it all. God, you're bigger than big. You're stronger than strong. You are mightier than mighty and louder than this song. And your love for me stretches farther than far. And I can't imagine just how big you are, just how big you are. Yeah, you're bigger than big. You're stronger than strong. are mightier than mighty and louder than this song. And your love for me stretches farther than far. And I can't imagine just how big you are, just how big you are. Yeah, I can't imagine just how big you are, just how big you are.
I hope you had fun doing that song. We're now going to pray. Jesus, thank you that you promise to always be with us, that even when things feel difficult, we can trust that you are there with us, that we can keep going, putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that you are there with us. Help us this week, Lord, to persevere, to keep doing all that you ask us to do, to keep putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that you are there beside us. We ask this in your wonderful name, Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's really great to be with you. And we hope and pray that one day, very soon, we will be with you live and in person at school. Let's see what Uncle Boris tells us in the news.
Is he actually your uncle?
I just like to call him Uncle Boris. But a few notices to give out. On Tuesday today at 11 o'clock, you might have just missed this or it might be coming up. You can watch BBC TV, Bearded Barry's Church Television, and that's on YouTube and Facebook. You can join me live. We've got games, we've got craft, we've got a quiz. It's a really good time, really a lot of fun, and that's on Tuesday. It's also on Thursday as well at 11 o'clock. If you miss any of them, you can watch again. It's always good for you to take part in that. If you've got any pictures or anything you want to send me, send them to barry@holysaviour.church and I show them on the show. It's really good. But also on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m, we've got Ignite, which is also on Facebook and YouTube, and that's our after school club. It's a little bit like BBC TV, but we've got some different things going on. We've got some jokes, we've got the challenge of the week, and yeah, it's really good. Join us for a load of fun, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and yeah, come and see what we've got going.
And Barry's working extra hard this week along with his team because we've got Messy Church on Saturday at 10:30 live on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, join us for Messy Church on Saturday, as Tony said, 10:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've put an advert up already on Facebook and you can find out. There's an equipment list for the craft we're doing, and we're going to do some baking live. So you can join in with me and the team actually baking some stuff live. We're going to start it at the start of Messy Church, and by the end of the Messy Church, we can get it out of the oven and it's all ready for lunch. So join us on Saturday.
There you go. See, I told you he was turning into MasterChef. Great to see you all. Take care. Have a fantastic week and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.